with my August wrap up. I have had a bit of a crazy month. I honestly don't quite remember everything that was in my August plans and TBR video. I had intended to watch it before filming this, but that didn't happen. So here we are. I am going to give you an update on my work in progress as well as my TBR, and we'll just see how the month went, I guess. So starting with my work in progress, I finished all my edits. I believe I said that I had 10 days of revision left to do in the August plans video. I did do all of that revision. I think I actually did it in less than 10 days too, which was awesome. So I got all of that revision done before we went away for our last little hurrah of the summer to stay with friends for the weekend. So that was great. And then I came home and just had some final touches, little things here and there that I wanted to pop back into the story and add in. I still have one thing that I think I want to pop back into and add that. But as I'm filming this, it's August 30th and my book goes to betas on September 1st. So today is like get shit done day because I had 2 videos to film and I have to finish with those, that little bit of revision that I want to pop in and add. I'm also running a last pro writing aid session on the work to get all of the grammar errors, to make sure that everything is as perfect as it can be when it goes to betas. And then I have to add in my questions and, you know, make my email for my betas, make a spreadsheet, all those kinds of things. So I have so much to do today and tomorrow. It's kind of scary. Which may be why it seems like I'm kind of rushing through this video. So that's where my work in progress is. It's getting sent to betas in 2 days. I'm panicking. Please come join me in the comments if you too are panicking about something with your work in progress. I'm hoping that once I hit that send button, that sort of my panic will just subside because it'll be too late to do anything about it. So that's my hope for this week. As for my TBR, I mentioned that I was trying to read all the camp novels because I still don't have comp titles for this book. I also don't even have like a blurb or a synopsis or anything. Like I feel like I'm not at all ready for betas or querying, but at the same time, like that's what I need to do. So I don't know. We'll see how September goes. As for my TBR, I read, hold on, let me pull it up so I make sure that I don't forget. So I can tell you right off the bat, I did not read The Names They Gave Us by Emery Lord. I just didn't get to it. I did read Camp, which was actually way heftier than I thought it was for some reason when I was filming that TBR. This was really long. It was almost 400 pages, which is a long book for me. So I did read this. I absolutely loved it. It was so good. I highly recommend it for any LGBTQIA2S plus young adults. So good, so fun. I did read that. It's not a comp for my book, but I'm glad that I read it. I have started No Place Like Here. You can see I'm not very far in at all. I just started this yesterday. After I spent weeks, maybe not weeks, maybe like a week and a half trying to get through 5 Summers. It's not that it was bad or that I didn't like it. It was just really slow moving and I just was not drawn to pick the book up. And it was also a really long book and I was like, I can't spend the rest of my month trying to get through this book. So I don't like to DNF things. I put it back on my to read shelf on Goodreads and I returned it to the library. Maybe I will come back to it, maybe I won't, but I did not get through that. I read, I don't know, maybe like 50 or 75 pages. I'm still working on this. I don't think I read any of it in August. I'm still about halfway through like I was, unfortunately. The good news, I did finish the audiobook of What If It's Us. which I loved. Of course, as any other queer person who has read the book, we all know this book was written quite a while ago and has a ton of Harry Potter references, and that was all pre-JKR awfulness. So while I did love the book, of course, as a queer person, I didn't love all those references, but I still love Harry Potter. I don't think it needed an apology from Becky Albertalli. Maybe if I was trans, I would feel differently about that, but I loved the book. The references didn't bother me, but I could have done without them. I also listened to the audiobook of Final Draft by Riley Redgate. Loved that too. It's about a girl who's a writer. It's also has queer rep. Love that. So that book was great as well. And then my massive success this month, which wasn't even on my TBR, was, can you even see that? It's so bright. Lycanthropy and Other Chronic Illnesses. I, as a spoonie, as a chronically ill human, adored this book. I'm not going to speak to some things that some people are saying about this book. I don't feel I'm the right person to speak about it, and I don't want to contribute to any negativity in any way. So I'm not going to speak about that. I understand if people have other opinions. That's all I'm going to say about that. This book, in terms of chronic illness rep, was 100% spot on. It covers Lyme disease, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, fibromyalgia, endometriosis, all kinds of things. There's so many chronic illnesses in here. The reason why I read this is because my work in, well, is it a work in progress? I guess so. I've started brainstorming, so I guess it's a work in progress, is about a chronically ill protagonist, because I myself am chronically ill, and I really wanted to include that in my next book. So I wanted to read any YA books, fiction, on chronic illness that I could find. And this one, I didn't even see this when I was doing a search on I can't talk right now. I didn't even see this when I was doing a search on Goodreads. I just happened to be walking through the chapters, and this book was facing out on the shelf, which they only do with like certain books. I don't know how they determine which faces out and which doesn't, but this book was facing out, and I was walking right by, and the bright yellow cover caught my eye because yellow is one of my favorite colors. And I looked at it and could not believe that it was a YA book about a chronically ill character, about multiple chronically ill characters. So this was so fun. It was so on the nose. It was everything I wanted it to be. It includes, I forget the word for it, but it includes like Tumblr notes back and forth. It includes text messages back and forth. Like, it included all this fun stuff, and it was just so good. I honestly cannot stress enough, if you have a chronically ill teenager or young adult in your life, please get them this book. You won't regret it. It was, oh, I want this book to reach as many people as it can. It was also a really great starting place for my research into books about chronically ill characters. The reason why I wanted to read them was A, so that I can make sure that my plot is different enough, because there's so few on the market. You don't want yours to sound like the other ones, right? So that was a main concern of mine. That's obviously not a concern when you're writing the 4,000th vampire novel to hit the YA shelves. But for something like this that's such a niche, I wanted to make sure that my book really was going to be unique from anything else that there was out there. And I'm happy to report that it's going to be quite different than this, so that's great. I have a couple other on my Goodreads shelf that I couldn't find at the library or Audible, so I'm going to have to go search those out, probably order them online. But this really got me in the headspace for my next work in progress, which I will be talking about in October when we start talking about Preptober. So I read these two chunky books, I finished 2 audiobooks, And then I read partway through 2 other camp fiction books. So it was a pretty successful month. I am really looking forward to September and all that that's gonna entail, but I won't get into that in this video. So that is my update for August. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you guys had a great reading month, a great writing month, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.